What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? It's the weekend. It's Friday. What are we going to be doing? Going to be coding, hanging out, chilling, spending time with family. What are you going to be up to? I know I'm going to be coding and doing some house projects. That's going to be fun. What's going on, Instagram? Welcome, Pinhas V. Abduring. God, I slaughtered that name. I'm sorry. Why is what is that? What is that name? Why is Habam? What's going on? We've got the Developer Inc. Harsh. What's going on, everybody? How we doing, YouTube? Who's kicking over here? C Money. What's going on? Vancouver Black Cat. What's up? What's about today? What are we talking about today? That's a fantastic question. Why don't we talk about what I get asked a lot about, and that's what you should be learning as a beginner developer, or like where should you start as a beginner developer, right? Because what's so cool about the day and age that we live in is information, right? It's just tip of a finger. We can Google anything and we can start learning how to code online. But when we're learning to code online, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, right? Because we don't really have a clear direction. Like, am I learning what I should be learning? How do I know if I'm learning the right things? What do I need to learn to be successful as a programmer and whatnot? So things like that. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jason. I'm a full stack developer here at Devslopes. I love coding things. I'm obsessed with React. I do the mean stack, Mongo, Express, React, and Node. I also know, a handful of other programming languages, but primarily what I do is the Mern stack. So code a lot of cool projects and whatnot. And then Devslopes has the Devslopes Academy for iOS, Android, and web. And I am the web instructor, coach, and mentor. So I work with students all day and I help them learn how to code. I help them learn these skills and then how to apply them until they get paid, whether that's freelance work or, getting a paid job. Because the goal, right? We want to reap the benefits of all of our hard work. And so my job's not over until my students make money. All right. So that's what we do. And it's so cool because I've got students right now that aren't even finished with the academy and they're already making thousands of dollars doing freelance projects. And then I have other students who haven't finished the academy and they've already landed jobs. All right. So it's pretty cool stuff. And I will tell you, being a self-taught developer myself, it's rough doing it on your own. That's how I did it. And there is a night and day difference, learning to code when you have a coach and a mentor and a community and support to get through it, because learning on your own can become very discouraging. When I was learning to code, I questioned myself a lot. Like, I was like, did I make the right decision? Like, this is hard. Like, I did an entire career change and I had a family and everything to take care of and provide for. But I decided I was done doing what I was doing and I wanted to learn coding and have a tangible skill. And I did it on my own and it sucked, but I made it. And so that's one of the reasons why I love teaching at Devslopes, is because I want to take everything that I learned as a self-taught developer and give clear guidance of what to be learning and how to be successful at freelancing and give you the skills that you need to get a job and everything. So I find a lot of joy in helping others learn how to code. And if you're interested in learning to code, you'd like some, some support, guidance, accountability, go to devslopes.com/apply and just get on a call with one of our career coaches and see if the Devslopes Academy is even for you. So, but it's a fantastic program if you guys are like serious about making life changes quick in the programming industry. All right. So let's hop over here. I'm going to start over here in YouTube, see what questions we have going on. What's going on? We Harshith 10 ready. React is not cool. I'm studying Node.js. Well, they're both cool. I mean, I like Node.js, but hey, to each their own, right? If you're not a React fan, that's totally cool. So what stack are you studying right now? So you're doing Node.js. Are you using Node to write server-side code? Are you just writing like scripts to run JavaScript like off the browser? What are you using Node for? Is React necessary? So we asks another question: is React necessary? I wouldn't say it's necessary, but React is one of the most popular JavaScript libraries in the world. Like it's huge. And so like as if you're looking to, land jobs, there's so many jobs, and I'm speaking US based. I don't know about other countries, but React is being widely adopted by companies around the US to build their, applications in. And it's fantastic to build web apps and other pieces of software. I've done Angular, I've done React. I've dabbled in like iOS and Python a little bit, and Kotlin, for Android. But I've really enjoyed web development, and I'm just a huge fan of React. I think it's a fantastic programming language to work with, and it's really fun to build in. Radasan, hello, gentlemen of culture. That sounds so proper. I like it. Let's see. Hey, I'm learning. I'm really feeling lost. I'm learning C++, Java, Python, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and UML in my first year of school. But what next? I'm lost with all these languages. Holy smokes, Yusuf! What? Like you're learning this in school? Are you going to college? That's no wonders you feel lost. You're learning so many languages at once. That's crazy. And on top of that, C++ is one of the most difficult programming languages to learn. It has an insanely steep learning curve. I think it's interesting that you're learning all these programming languages because they all have different uses. All right. In my opinion, okay, this is my opinion personally, learning all of that is just a flat out waste of time. Like what I would do, because you don't want to feel lost, right? You need a clear path of what you want to do. What you should do is decide what it is you want to do with programming. So you're learning C++. C++ is fantastic for embedded systems and system programs. So things like robotics, embedded systems, you can build AAA games with C++. So like there's Call of Duty, all the Blizzard games like World of Warcraft, all of those are using C++. C++ is a compiled language, so it's incredibly fast. So if you need to build insanely performant applications, C++ is a great choice. Java has a broad use. It's a very secure language. It's good for a lot of things. You can do Android development with it. However, the Android community is pushing Kotlin more so. Python is a great beginner language. It's, again, got kind of a general use among web development, game development, writing scripts. You can do machine learning, AI. All right. And then HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, that's all web-based technologies. All right. So these are a lot of languages that you're learning, and I don't want you to feel lost. So pick a path. Do you want to do mobile development, iOS or Android? Do you want to do web development? Do you want to work on, robotics, AI, machine learning? Like, what do you want to do? And that should determine what you learn. And then you should stick with that for at least a year before you venture outside and try learning anything else. All right. You should become proficient with one technology so you're good at it. And then it'll make learning other technologies a lot easier. So sorry, I kind of went off there, but I know that feeling of being lost, and that is a lot of stuff to be learning in just 1 year. You should stick with one thing for a whole year. Radasan says Mern stack is Mongo Express, React, and Node. That's correct. That is correct. Let's see. I've got a master's degree in computer science, and I couldn't find a job. Any help, suggestions? I'm always looking for fully remote. Soraya, yeah, you should be getting on like LinkedIn or Indeed and trying to find jobs and everything. And I understand. So here's kind of a myth about programming is people who are starting out to learn, or other people, are under this impression that you need a computer science degree to get a job. And that is 100% false. You do not need a computer science degree to get a job. The industry has completely changed. All right. I'm a self-taught developer, And I think after 3 years of learning to code, I got a job at Dell Computers as a full stack engineer, self-taught, no computer science degree. Even on their job listing, the requirements that they listed, I didn't meet those, but I still applied. I got into the interview. They checked out my code, had me do some, tech questions and coding examples and whatnot. And they liked it. They're like, yeah, this guy can code. And so at the end of the day, all a business wants, or a client, if you're freelancing, all they want is somebody who can code and pump out results. That's it. A little computer science degree. I'm not saying it's bad if you have one. That's awesome that you committed to that. But what I'm saying is employers aren't looking for that specifically. And the other issue that I have with computer science degrees is colleges are not teaching you the skills for programming that you actually need to be successful in the job market, all right, or freelancing. Like, are you learning how to use the terminal? Are you learning how to use Git, version control, NPM packages, like third-party libraries, how to integrate those into your programs? How much on-hands coding experience do you have? That's why a lot of people are doing the self-taught route or boot camps, because it's loads of hands-on experience. All the theory and depth that college provides, you'll learn that over time. And so, Soraya, my recommendation for you is code projects. Try to get some freelance under your belt, because one of the things that's going to add a lot of credibility to you as a programmer is for an employer to see that you've got paid work under your belt. So when you have a portfolio of projects and they're like, wow, somebody's paid this person to build something, that adds a lot of validity to you as a developer. All right. So you should be out building projects, and that's also going to boost your confidence as a developer and increase your skills as a developer. So that's what I would do. And there's a lot of remote work as well. So just keep applying. And if you fail tech interviews, ignore it. You should be applying for everything. Do not look for a junior position. Just look for developer. And then obviously apply to some of the things that's kind of in your programming language sphere of things. And just get junior out of your mind. Just look for a programming job. Let the company decide whether you're a good fit or not. And if they decide you're not, that's okay. Keep applying. You'll probably apply to 50 to 100 places before you land a job. It's common for your first one. All right, Instagram. I'm going to get over to you here in a second. Does learning C++ give you a good understanding of JavaScript? No, it doesn't. It's insanely complex. Just learn JavaScript. It's 10 times easier. C++, that's another myth. People are like, oh, learn C++ and you'll be good at learning every programming language. Yeah, right. C++ is going to make you want to smash your face into your computer because you're going to be so frustrated learning one of the most difficult programming languages in the world. A beginner, I mean, unless your passion is, I want to work at NASA, I want to work on robotics and embedded systems and do AAA games, then do it. Go for C++ and commit to it. But if that's not your goal, C++ is overkill for almost every type of software application you can build. Everything doesn't need an insane performance that C++ offers. Okay. Simon says, I want to learn C++ for making games, but I really don't know how to start or what to learn. So C++, yes, you can do game development with it, but you're not going to build a Flappy Birds game in C++. That's insane overkill. So like I've said before, Call of Duty, games that need to make split-second decisions on the fly and need to be insanely high performant. If you want to do AAA games, learn C++. If you want to do regular games, don't learn C++. It's insane overkill. You should check out Python. It's a fantastic beginner programming language, has a clean syntax to it. You can do game development with it. You could check out Unity 3D. That uses C#, if I remember correctly. And so my point is, there's other programming languages to do game development that are 10 times easier than C++. Business Momo. Can I learn 2 languages at once? You can, but learning to code is incremental steps. So for an example, if you're doing web development, first, you're going to learn HTML. All right. Next, you move into CSS. Next, you move into JavaScript. And then next, you learn how to combine JavaScript with the HTML and DOM manipulations. Next, you're going to dive into like a UI library like React. And then next, you're going to move into backend technology. So you're kind of learning multiple at once, but you're taking it in steps. You don't want to overload your brain. Radasan, is Devslopes Academy one-to-one, or are there groups? And do you also take time to help one-to-one? Because if that's first, I'm sure it's too expensive for any of us. Group classes could be more. So the Devslopes Academy, it's an online boot camp, all right? So we've got our curriculum at 16 different modules, and this could take anyone, 6 months if they're putting in like 2 to 3 hours, like 5 days a week. You'll probably be done in around 6 months. Some students are doing it faster. Some it's taking longer. It's all self-paced. So you build it around your lifestyle, right? And you go through the modules and you complete the different assignments and whatnot, and you learn the curriculum. And then at the end of each module, you're going to turn in an assignment, all right? You're going to code something, and then I'm going to personally review your code. Seriously, we have hundreds of students in the academy. They will submit assignments. I will personally look at your code and review everything. And then I'm going to leave you feedback about best practices using the dry principle. What if you're making expensive function calls? All right. So, and then every week we have live weekly meetups where we hop on a Zoom call, talk about code, tech, freelance jobs, skateboarding, whatever comes up. And we've got our whole community, so you can reach out to me personally with code questions. But it's way more affordable than college. That's for dang sure. It's a fraction of the price. So, but if you're serious about learning to code and really want to change your life and make money, then check it out. I'd be stoked and honored to work with you. All right, Instagram. Let's get some love over here. How we doing, y'all? That's right. I'm from Texas. Yeah, right. I wasn't born in Texas. Maybe I can't use the y'all term, right? But I've been in Texas for like 3 years. It's grown on me. All right. What do we have here? It's why I'm a Sabam. Oh, why is Sabam? Okay, I got it. What other questions? How much do you charge? I think you're talking about the academy. I know we have different payment options. To be honest, I don't know the price. I'm just like teacher mode, right? I'm just helping students. Just go to devslopes.com/apply and then get on a call with one of our career coaches. They'll tell you everything you want to know about the academy, and we have tons of different pricing options. All right, that's as much as I know. So do that. Somebody asks how often we go live. We go live every day at 3:30 Central Time, Monday through Friday, every day. Instagram. Oh, crap. I think my Instagram audio went out. Nope. Maybe I'm back. Instagram, let me know if you can still hear me. My phone did a dumb notification telling me my battery's dying. Sometimes it messes up audio if I'm using Bluetooth. Let's see. Hey, I'm from Morocco. I want to learn from you, but not for that money. Okay, that's fine. That's totally cool. There's other places to learn. Will Remix.js take over Next.js? I don't know. I haven't even checked out Remix. I use Next.js a lot. The Devslopes website I built using Next.js. I'll have to check out Remix. And Salma, go ahead and ask me a question. Just drop it in the comments and I will get to it. All right, I'm just scrolling through all this. Okay, I have an interest in web development and AI machine learning. I'm stuck which field to continue. What is your advice? So what I would do is I would take some like free tutorials on both. So find some on YouTube, or if you want to purchase one for cheap, maybe check out like Udemy. But I would find one of each and then decide which one you're more interested in. So perfect example, when I first got into programming, I wanted to be an iOS developer. I was like, yeah, I want to build iPhone apps. This is cool. My first introduction to programming was actually web development. So that was my first taste at coding. And then I got into web and I was like, this is pretty cool. I like it. And then once I learned the ropes of basic web development, I did switch gears and check out iOS. And I did iOS for a little bit, a couple of months. And I was like, this is cool, but I actually like web development more. And so then that's what I'm doing. I'm doing web development. So you should try both. Don't really pay for anything unless it's cheap because you want to figure out what you like and then go down that route. And if you choose iOS, Android, or web, you said web and AI, but if you choose web, definitely check out the Devslopes Academy. I'll work with you, help you learn how to code, and then I'll help you make money doing freelance work or getting a job. But go to devslopes.com/apply and check it out. All right. What else do we have here? Which is best, Mern or Mean Stack? So they're both fantastic, but they both have different purposes. All right. So the reason why I usually recommend the Mern stack, Mongo Express, React, and Node for beginners is because React is a really smooth transition from learning JavaScript because React will already use JavaScript in a way that you're familiar with. But be mindful that React is front end only. It's only DOM manipulation. It's a UI library. All right. Whereas Angular is full stack. What I mean is Angular itself ships with all the front end and back end tools to do full stack applications. React, you have to build that stuff from scratch. All right. Angular already ships with that, and it ships with its own routing. If you want to do any type of routing in React, you have to download third-party packages like React Router, for an example. So Angular also has a much steeper learning curve. Okay, you're going to be using TypeScript, and there is so much Angular-specific syntax, and there's very strict guidelines and architect that goes into Angular about how you should build Angular apps. All right. So Google is like really strict. This is how you do Angular. React is pretty loose and says, yeah, here's some guidelines, but kind of do what you want. So Angular is fantastic. Just keep in mind, if you're a beginner, you're going to have to learn TypeScript. And then Angular has so much Angular specific syntax. You will literally have to Google everything you want to even try to do in Angular. I started out with the mean stack. I know this personally from personal experience. And as a beginner, it was difficult for me to draw the line from this is regular JavaScript and this is Angular because I was so new to everything. I didn't understand everything fully. So I started learning Angular after like 8 weeks, like after 2 months of like learning JavaScript and stuff. But it went over my head so much that I had a hard time connecting the dots in the beginning. All right, we've got 7 minutes left. Let's see. Hey, before picking up a programming language, what is the basics that everyone willing to become a programmer must learn? What's the foundational knowledge to any programmer must have? Thanks. So I would say basic general things with programming, understanding basic algorithms, understanding basic data structures. You have to understand and know how to use Git. All right, that's a version control. So you need to know how to use Git and version control. And then everything else, the other basics and concepts, that really depends on the programming language that you're learning. All right, if it's web development, iOS, Android, all of them have their own basic principles. But just in a general broad sense, you should understand data structures, algorithms, and Git and version control. All right, don't have to be an expert, but just have a working knowledge of it. Could you please let me know what is the future of WPF application? I don't even know what that is. Look at this. You're making me Google. I'm going to Google it and then be like, oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Is it Windows Presentation Foundation? I don't know. I don't do any of that development. How to know which field you're interested in? Well, make a mental decision Do you like iOS apps? Do you like Android apps? Do you like web development? Do you like machine learning or AI? And then that will tell you what field of programming you should learn. All right. Okay. YouTube, I'm going to hop back over here for some questions. That's everything we have on Instagram right now. Which one is better, web or mobile? I like both, but I think the market is web is more competitive. Web development is a little bit more competitive. There's more positions for web development available. Also, another thing to consider is native app developers like iOS and Android developers tend to make more money than web developers. Of the programmer list, web developers tend to make the least. But you also have to be mindful about what you're most interested and passionate about. Sometimes it doesn't always come down to money. Like I can make way more money as an iOS developer. My brother is an iOS developer, self-taught. He makes about 18,000 more a year as an iOS developer, and he's been coding for 1 year less than me. And I'm full stack, and he just does front end. That's it. So he iOS developers and Android developers tend to make more. But I could have gone the iOS route, but I thought it was cool, but I like web development more. That's where my passion is. And so I'm very happy with what I do. I make fantastic money, and I'm cool with all that. Is Flutter and Dart and Firebase a good full stack development? It is. It's fantastic if you're doing freelance work, or if you're looking to jump onto a startup company. You won't find really any companies. I haven't seen any companies hiring, like actual larger companies looking for a Flutter developer. And usually larger companies, they need something that's a little bit more scalable and cost effective than Firebase. But yeah, that's a fantastic stack to learn if you're doing freelance work or personal apps. Yusuf says, thank you very much for the advice. You're very welcome. We asks, bro, how many of you say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React? I know you are boring. Say it. I don't understand that sentence. I'm sorry. Let's see. I am Vue in an e-com startup for 8 months. I got an offer from defense industry firm for Angular. Is it cool to have in my resume? Any advice? Yeah, you should definitely put that in your resume. All the different programming languages that you're proficient in for sure. Let's see, thoughts on WebAssembly. I've never dived into WebAssembly. All I know is it's not for me. Let's see, my dream is to make an MMO like in a Dark Souls and Dungeon and Dragon style. That's awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? How much time do I need to learn iOS development to earn money? I would put in, okay, so here's the thing. This goes for anybody learning to code, any programming language. All right. The most important thing, I want you to remember this. This is the most critical thing. Whatever programming language you want to learn, you have got to put in time every single day. You have got to get your hands on a keyboard, smashing out code. All right. You should be putting in a minimum of 2 hours a day for at least 5 days a week. You cannot be successful learning to code if you code for a week and then take a week off. All right. Think about it. Just like if you're learning a new language, like speaking a new language, right? You have to put in daily practice for it to stick. All right. Learning to code is not easy. I mean, granted, it comes easier to some than others, but you're learning a brand new language and syntax and a new way of thinking, and you've got to get your hands on a keyboard, slamming out code every single day. That's why I am not a fan of computer science degrees, because they do not give you enough hands-on experience. All right. I'm a self-taught developer. I got my first contract project after like 13 or 14 weeks of learning to code. I have family and friends who it took 4 years to get their bachelor's in computer science, And it took them 6 months after that to land a job. My first job that I got as a self-taught developer was, I think I got a job after 10 or 11 months, like actually employed, and I got paid $78,000 a year. All right. That's self-taught road, hands-on experience. Did that within 10 months. My older brother did the computer science route. It took him 4 years to finish computer science, 6 months to get his first job. And my first job paid more than his because my portfolio looked better than his, because I had paid projects under my belt. I did a few freelance projects and they were stoked. So that's why I'm saying sometimes a computer science degree, it just comes down to hands-on experience. Companies want people who can code. End of story. All right. Man, I really got into that, didn't I? I really went off on that one. But I don't even know what the question was, why it inspired me to go crazy like that. But anyways, let's see. How much time do I need? Oh, answer that question. What's going on, Elizabeth? I'm working on LinkedIn, learning Java course on maps and part of that. That's great. Let's see. When you've been coding for so long that it's no longer an ordinary function. I didn't understand your sentence, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. Let's see. I think will be forever a pain, the under part of the back. I don't know what that means. Anyways, we're at time, and so we're going to wrap up here. Let me just see if there's a few last questions here from Instagram. Let's see. Do you have any tips for someone who just started freelancing? Oh, man, I've got so many tips. Freelancing. I did freelancing for a year, like over a year. That's how I provided for my family. It was my sole source of income, was doing freelance work. Let me see if I can wrap everything up in a nutshell. You've got to be really particular on bidding your jobs. Like when you give someone a bid, overestimate. All right. Like if you think you can have it done in a week, like say you're building a simple website, if you think you can have it done in a week, tell the client it's going to take 3 weeks or a month. All right. Because there's things in development that come up that you don't plan or anticipate for, and you've got to make time for yourself to handle those things. It's better to under promise and over deliver. Okay. The second thing, clients are going to want to try to milk every little feature out of you and every little ounce of development. They're going to come up with ideas and aha moments while you're building their project and say, oh, can we add this? Can we add this? Can we add this? No, lay down the law from the beginning. That's called scope creep, and you don't code for free. All right. Next, let me just dive into landing freelance projects. Upwork.com is a good place. It is pretty competitive. But there are also tutorials there to show you how to strategize your Upwork profile. I would recommend, obviously, networking with people, word of mouth. You've got to have a personality. You've got to be able to market yourself. When I was freelancing, I always went to different networking events and conferences where like CEOs and entrepreneurs got together. And the reason being is because you'll make 10 times as much money building software versus just a little website for someone. I landed a software project. It paid out just over $100,000 in 9 months. All right. That was the biggest project that I landed as a freelancer. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, Upwork, and you've got to market yourself on LinkedIn. You've just got to talk to people. You've got to let the world know that, hey, I code stuff and I will build you something. So that's my recommendation as a freelancer. I mean, I could talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to. It's the weekend, and I want all of you to, get back to your weekend. To wrap up here, again, those of you who don't know me, I'm Jason, full stack developer here at Devslopes. I'm also the Web Academy instructor for our Devslopes Web Academy. I help students learn how to code. I review their code. We have weekly live meetups, and then I help them get paid, whether that's freelance work or landing a job. And if you want a really cool 30-day code challenge, go to 30daycodechallenge.com. Devslopes offers these code challenges for iOS or for Swift and JavaScript. This is going to help enhance your skills And then again, to wrap up what I previously said, for some mentoring and guide learning to go to devslopes.com/apply. And that's it. Until next time, until Monday. So everybody have a great week and stay positive, stay safe, and keep coding. That's it. Adios.